everybody. Welcome to Mosaic Experiment Television. And you're watching the Not So Late Show with Everyman and Corvus.
That's right. Welcome, everybody, to our Not So Late Show live streaming talk show.
It's also day 2 of the digital Mosaic experiment. I
Yes.
hope everybody's enjoying themselves. Have you been enjoying your digital experiment?
Yes.
Now, I know that you've been really, really busy. And as we always say, promo really has nothing to do during the actual event because
You're absolutely right on that. They said, join promo. You've got nothing to do during the event. That's what they said. And promo this year has been busting their butts.
For those who aren't aware, Corvus is our promo co-lead, for those who don't know.
Yeah, that's right. Especially our lead for promo, Rambles. Rambles is a machine. I'll just let you know that right now. Rambles has been hard at work plugging all of these events that people are submitting for the what, when, where, updating that what, when, where, getting that out there to everybody. Amazing. Kudos, Rambles. Kudos.
And people are spontaneously submitting those jot form registrations. So those emails are coming in all throughout the day, 24 hours. And every time one of those show up, within 5 to 10 minutes, Rambles has that up on the web for you.
Yeah, it's
you can go
pretty
to
astounding.
Mosaic. You can go to mosaicexperiment.com/www if you'd like to register an event, or if you want to be in the conclave tomorrow, or you want to be a fire spinner, you want to do an effigy, you want to have a theme camp in the Discord. All of that stuff is there. One-stop shop. Even the link to the Discord is right there. So we're way ahead of the game.
Take a look at that again. I know we've showed you guys in our broadcasts for the burner games earlier on, today and both yesterday. But let's go ahead and take a look at that what, when, where page right now. And we'll just revisit that. So let me just bring that up and see. Well, give me just one moment. We're having some technical difficulties on my end of things.
Well, it's our first Not So Late show.
Yes, it is. All right, here's the what, when, where. You can find that at mosaicexperiment.com/www. And we have all of our current events in the past, events coming in the future. And the biggest thing right now, before we go into some of the events that are upcoming, is this jot form. If you have an event, if you have an art installation, if you want to join the conclave or burn an effigy with us tomorrow night, as Everyman said, find that right there, or you can go to the main page and you got a link there as well. And that'll take you right to that registration form where you can fill that out. You can join our conclave and effigy. You can show off your art and events. You can even register a theme camp to get your very own Discord channel on our server. Now, one thing I want to mention too, with that conclave and effigy, if you are going to be performing with fire, you do need to have a safety. So just keep that in mind. We'd love to see what you have to bring to your Mosaic experiment.
And lots of people are telling us they're not familiar with Discord or they haven't installed it yet. Just be mindful of the fact that it is free to install. It's one of those things that's not like Facebook where you have an ad every 5 posts. It is actually ad free. And a lot of folks have been telling us they prefer its direct messaging feature. They'd rather not be using a Zuckerberg product. They're feeling spied on when they're using Facebook Messenger. They feel really creeped out by it. They start seeing ads about things they talk to their friends about privately. None of that happens in Discord. So a lot of people have just been using it as a direct messaging service. But yeah, if you're not used to it, you're not familiar with it, we have an events channel on there. And for those of you that maybe you don't want to register your spontaneous thing, but you still want to let people know that you're doing something. Maybe you want to drop a Zoom link out there, but you don't want to advertise it to the public because our website's public. The what, when, where, anyone that can go to mosaicexperiment.com can see that. So maybe you don't want it to go there. So you can go to the Discord and go to the events channel and you can drop your information there. And that just goes to the Mosaic Experiment community. But you first have to go through Gate. That's right. You can't go to any of the channels until you go through Gate, just like a regular burn. And we have a bot that Bookbeard created Bookbeard has been making all kinds of bots lately, and this is everybody's favorite rock star, Mosaic. First name Mo, last name Zaic. And Mo will have a few questions for you. So you just answer those questions honestly. And just like you go through a regular gate at a burn, Mo will let you through, and then you can see all the theme camps. And if you've registered a theme camp yourself, that theme camp channel should be created for you. So you can just go there and start doing whatever it is you want to do in that theme camp. Some people are doing art. There's an art room channel. Some people are sending pictures of their pets because we have a channel for pets. There's an animated GIF channel. There's an out of context channel, one of my favorites.
Yeah, let's give them a preview of these channels while we're talking about them.
Yeah. That's a little bit of show and tell here because some people don't even know what it looks like. By the way, to get to that Discord at mosaicexperiment.com/www, that link that we keep referring to you, the link to that JOT form, that registration form is at the top, and right under it is a link to finding this very Discord that Corvus is showing you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'll see it right there if you go to that www. Another cool thing with the Discord, this was just enabled tonight. We'll head over to Center Camp and we'll give this a test. You press exclamation point, JOT form.
Oh, look at that.
Mo, our helpful bot, gives you that registration JOT form. That's incredible. Thank you, Bookbeard, and thank you, Mo, for enabling that. So yeah, let's take a look. We've got Art Room, as you were saying. Some brilliant art people have been doing and sharing with us. Look at these wonderful paintings we got going on. Some people weren't able to get off this weekend, but they're burning while working, going through.
That's right. And this is active even after the event is over, folks. The burn doesn't stop. You can keep using this because this is where your community is.
Oh, look here. Rambles, our promo lead, has plugged our Twitch and YouTube live stream. So we've got that right in the Discord. If you want to like and subscribe, you can get notifications anytime we go live this weekend. You're going to want to have those on for tomorrow night when we do our Burn Night extravaganza live stream over Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube, all live from a Mosaic Experiment 2021 on and off again.
We're going to be keeping these, we're going to be keeping the Twitch and we're going to be keeping the YouTube because a lot of videos have been produced this week and people have been really creative in our community this year. So anytime that we do something, we do a video, we do something artistic that we want to share with the community or somebody wants to share it with us, we're going to go ahead and put it on that YouTube channel so that you can all see those being just permanently archived, including this talk show here tonight. Now, there's been lots of events that people have already submitted yesterday and today. We've been to a number of them. Well, you've even hosted a few of them today. You've hosted one where you were teaching people how to do bird calls, correct?
Yeah, we'll go ahead and head over to the Burbs of Paradise camp. That's my theme camp right there. And you can see Bookbeard. This was hosted through the Department of Radical Self-Education run by Bookbeard. And this was a class where I taught everybody about taxonomy and morphology of corvids, which are it's the family that ravens and crows belong to. I taught people how to call crows, and we tried to do a bit of a demonstration, but the birds were being a bit ornery tonight. After the event was over, about 30 minutes later, they showed up. So go figure. But one more thing I wanted to mention too about this Discord before we talk about, go back to that what, when, where and talk about some of the upcoming events.
Oh, yes.
Was another feature, Temple. Bookbeard, hard at work. Got some ideas from Slafter, our consent lead. They worked together a bit. And we got this temple thing. So if you've ever been to a burn and you've had a temple burned and stuff at some point in time, you can always write messages and stuff, put that in the temple and burn it before you leave. Well, the new bot this year, Templeton, you write a message in the temple chat. Templeton will delete your message, copy it before he does, and then repaste it so it's automatically anonymous. And at the end of the burn, when we burn the temple, he'll have a little countdown. You'll see some fire go on the screen, and all the messages are deleted one by one, and they're burned in the temple. Now, the temple channel stays, but all the messages disappear and are released back in the universe. So just an amazing thing.
Really beautiful.
Make sure you check our what, when, where for when that occurs as well. We'll have that updated soon.
some very emotionally moving messages in there already, and you don't know who wrote them. They're all anonymous. So you can go
Yeah.
right in there, type in whatever you want. If you have a lost loved one that you want to say something to, or just some negative energy that you want to unload, just say it all there. And you're going to watch that when the temple burns. You're going to see that disappear. But yeah, it won't be coming from you. It'll be coming from Templeton. It's all kept anonymous.
Yeah. Now back to that what, when, where, real quick. We'll talk about some of the events going on tonight. Actually, currently, it's wrapping up in just 17 minutes. We've got 101 of the rope, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. from Squeezy. If you check out Squeezy's theme camp, it's Life's a Hitch and Then You Tie It, you'll find the Zoom link for that. Now, might be a little late on getting on that tonight, but if you join at noon tomorrow, you get Chest Up, hosted by Squeezy, where you learn a very basic chest harness that you can use to move your peep around with. Now, you will need at least 45 foot of rope for this basic chest harness. Other things going on tonight, we've got one more event that's happening at 11:11. It's hosted by Food, and that's called Dr. Darko's Bathtub Science Adventures. Now,
I love the name.
For our earlier broadcast, about 5 minutes long, we talked in great detail about this. It's very sciencey, but Dr. Darko always puts a unique twist on things. I'm sure you'll enjoy.
That's going to be a good time tonight.
Oh, it is. Definitely.
And in the mornings, somebody always hosts a coffee chat, a coffee Zoom first thing in the morning. For you early birds, that wasn't me today. But there's usually someone who just drops a link out there in the event saying, hey, for anybody who wants to join this, it's starting at 9:30 and it'll just end when I feel like ending it. So it might go from 9:30 to 1. And you get to meet some of the community. Maybe you just woke up, made a pot of coffee for yourself, and you just want to chit chat with somebody. There's no pressure. You don't have to perform. There's no art. You're just chit chatting about things and getting to meet people, and very friendly atmosphere in those chats.
Yeah. Now, see, we do have somebody waiting in the waiting room right now. We're going to have a few guests tonight. We got a nice show packed up for you. I didn't know if we wanted to get to the person in the waiting room, if we wanted to, move on to everything else. What do you think, Everyman?
Well, let's bring we have somebody in the waiting room right now. We don't want them to wait too long. But I know we have a couple other guests coming. So why don't we just go through this one right now? This in the waiting room, we have, is this Ms. Skittles?
Yeah, let's go ahead and admit Skittles in here. See what's going on. Oh, there we go. Looks like Skittles has there we go.
Skittles,
hi, Skittles.
Welcome to the Not So Late Show.
Hi.
How's your digital burn been doing, Skittles?
It's been pretty good so far.
For those who don't know her, Skittles is our first aid lead.
Hello.
Yeah, and just from everybody within the Mosaic organization and on behalf of the community, I just want to say, for everything that you've done, everybody in the community, they don't know how much you've done this year for the burn. And wow, like seriously, we have been amazed. Thank you so much for everything that you have done. I know when we were selling tickets and stuff, and we were asking for the vaccination cards, you went through those, you made sure everything was good
manually, one by one.
Amazing.
It's a lot
so
of
much work went into the Mosaic experiment this year by Skittles, and it blows me away. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. That's early on in the planning of Mosaic, we weren't even really sure that we would be able to consider having an in-person burn. And early on the team, we were talking and several people had said, nope, I don't think we can do it. I don't think we can do it. And I had said, no, I think, vaccines are going to get out there. People are going to be able to, by, late spring, early summer, if you want a vaccine, you'll be able to get it. Unfortunately, the Delta variant had other plans for us, but
now,
early on, I was a big supporter of, we can do this as long as we do it right. So,
folks, you may not remember that, but all that happened in 4 weeks. We had a summer retreat where we weren't sure if we were going to do a go, no go. And the way things looked then, We decided it was going to be a go. And a couple days later, we told you all that, and everyone got really excited. And right after that, the numbers just started looking really bad. The case just started going up and up and up. And we had a lot of wishful thinking. We were really waiting for things to go back down, and it just didn't happen. And look at where things are right now. So we made the right call, but you all got to know that was one of the toughest decisions that we ever made.
Yeah.
Like,
Absolutely.
if
Absolutely.
not
One of the hardest things.
Internally, we were very emotional about it, and it was not easy, and it wasn't something that we
Absolutely.
just couldn't just pull out of our pocket and say, oh no, we're canceling. We wanted this so bad because there's been a year without any burns. And
Yeah,
we
I
were
even
going
built
to
an
be the
effigy that
first
I have to hang on to now.
That's
We
I
put
mean,
a-
I
I-
do
I-
have to say I have to say my job during a digital burn is a whole lot easier than an in-person burn.
Yeah, I understand
so-
that freed up a little bit of time and stuff on your end. The reason why we wanted you on this call is, as far as I understand, you got something coming up October 2nd.
I do,
yeah. It's a
yeah.
women's march.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I am getting involved with a group of people here locally. I'm in Kentucky, but nationally, in response to the legislation that was passed in Texas, which there's been a women's march in Washington D.C. For the last several years now, and this year the focus is on reproductive rights and with a focus on, what has the legislation from Texas and how that affects women across the country, or reproductive rights across the country, really, not just women. And so for those of us who aren't able to travel to DC and march, there's a lot of local events that are happening, and I am working on putting one of those together here locally.
Wow.
So yeah, it's come together pretty quickly in the last week or so. Working with an awesome group of folks, and we getting permits and getting all our permissions and making sure everything is above board. But we will also be selling T-shirts as a fundraiser. So we have a few designs picked out, and if you're interested, I'll be happy to share those links once we have them. If anyone's interested, we can always ship the T-shirts out. But all of the funds that we raise will be going to a nonprofit that supports healthcare for marginalized communities, and specifically, ideally, a organization that supports reproductive rights in Kentucky, and then potentially, other states as well. So yeah, that's where I've been able to refocus some of my burn energy.
My understanding is you've had a lot of interest in it too. Like, you were expecting a few people, but it's more than a few people, isn't it?
Yeah, was expecting just a handful of people. I live in rural Kentucky.
Sure.
It's not I am very much a blue dot in a sea of red, and so just didn't expect to have a ton of interest. I knew that I have friends personally that would be interested, and from my experience with attending Black Lives Matter marches, I knew that even in our county here, we had a handful of people that would potentially be interested in attending, but the support has been overwhelming, and the people that we've been able to reach and that are interested in helping has blown me away.
It's well over 100 people already, isn't it?
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's
And we're actually working with there's another group in Lexington that is doing a march. There is a group in Louisville and a group in Elizabethtown, which is a little bit bigger town than us. So we're all kind of starting to, each of us were started independently, but we're working on coming together and all of us working together to pool our resources and pool our contacts together and make sure that we're all focused on the same working towards the same goal.
If people want to help, if they want to reach you, should they reach you, or is there a place for them to go? A website?
Yeah. You can find me on Facebook. I'm in the Mosaic group. I'm in the Mosaic Discord under Skittles. On Facebook, it's Jessica Murray, my legal name. And for my event here, we do have a Facebook group that we've started, Women's March 2021, Glasgow, Kentucky. We're working on getting a little bit more creative name, but that's just kind of what was thrown out there so we could get something up.
Easy to find.
And you can, so you can find us on there, follow what we're doing, keep an eye out for the links to purchase those t-shirts. And I encourage people to get involved locally where they're at. There are events and marches happening across the country. Womensmarch.com or .com or .org. I don't remember off the top of my head, but if you just Google Women's March 2021, and it'll get you to that site. You can pledge to march, and you can actually search for events in your area. So it'll show you marches around you
.com.
based
I
on
just
zip
did it.
code.
Womensmarch.com.
So you can look at a map view. You can look by zip code. There's marches. There's also like digital training events, teaching people how to be like social media warriors. I think what they're calling them. So just how to fight against disinformation, and engaging with people who maybe want more information or don't have the same mindset as you do, and how to interact with them and spreading that message. So
really appreciate you coming on here to tell this to everybody, because this is some good activism that it's inspiring to see.
Yeah, it's amazing. It really is.
Yeah, and what's happening there in Texas is just terrible.
It is. It's absolutely terrible. It's disgusting. And it affects all of us. Just because it's not happening in the state that you're in right now doesn't mean that it won't. This legislation in Texas, unfortunately, is a framework for many other states, and especially
they're gonna try.
Especially us in the Midwest and the South. It's unfortunately that's the direction that a lot of our political leaders would like to go if they had the opportunity.
Testing the courts, judges really matter.
Exactly, and it's important to make sure that our voice is heard too. There's plenty of people from other stances in life and other political opinions and social opinions that want to be the loudest voice in the room, but it's important to make sure that we're heard just as much as they are. We have First Amendment rights as well, and encourage people to use those.
You're amazing in a multitude of ways, Skittles.
Yeah, they really are.
I appreciate you coming here. I know there's some other guests coming up, but we wanted you to be able to share this with the greater community so more people would get involved or have an opportunity to. And now you all know how to reach out to her.
Yep. But look for a local event near you, and hope everyone gets involved in some way to kind of turn this around in our country.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate you so much, Skittles. Thank you for coming on tonight.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
We'll see you around on the Discord.
Yep,
we'll be seeing you soon. Boy, our community is really amazing.
Yeah, that's right. And that's just one member of our community. There are so many others just like Skittles that are essentially fighting the good fight for all of us. They're getting involved. They are working with immediacy. They're working with participation in Defaultia. They're committed to civic responsibility. And it's amazing how, the Burning Man Regional Network, Burning Man experience has brought that to their default lives. It's helped them grow as people. It's helped get them involved.
And if you think about it, she did it
Yeah.
all herself. That's radical self-reliance. And it's something
Exactly.
that she believes in, and that's radical self-expression.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many reasons to be an activist right now. I mean, I'm just thinking like 20 years ago, that 9/11 just passed. So that's now 20 years old. And that didn't seem conceivable back then, that something like that would happen. And then it seemed like there was this feeling of, we just have everything under control now. Everything is okay because there hasn't been another attack like that. But we're looking at our own country and seeing what's happening within our own country. Just what happened in Texas. Like, we were leading up to that. Those abortion, women's rights were being slowly stripped away, taken away year after year after year. And then something really extreme happened. Now everybody is waking up. Now people are noticing it. Now I know we have other guests here that are going to be coming in tonight. Now I got to tell you, hang on a second, Corvus. The phone is ringing. I have a satellite phone that I left somewhere. Let's hang on, Corvus.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Who is this?
This is me, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No kidding. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold
Hello,
Schwarzenegger.
cutie pie.
Oh, thank you so much. I've never been able to talk to you in person. We've been trying to get a hold of you, and we've been trying to get a hold of you through your front office. We've been playing a lot of phone tag back and forth, but I didn't think that you're actually going to make it to the talk show. You're the biggest celebrity we've ever had on the Not So Late Show.
Exactly.
Well, I'm curious what you've been up to lately. Have you been really busy? Are you going to be running for office again?
Yeah.
Really? Are you going to do that? I thought you were retiring from politics and you were just going to go back to Hollywood.
No.
You have no interest in Hollywood anymore?
Negative.
So there's not going to be another Expendables film?
No!
Look, you don't have to get upset about it. I just wanted to ask a simple question.
Doesn't matter.
Well, it does kind of matter because we'd rather you not be involved in politics anymore. No offense. But
Terrific.
I really do enjoy your movies. I mean, I'm sure you enjoy making them.
Yes!
Okay, then why aren't you still making them? That's the big question. Like, why, well, you're not going to be a governor again. You're not running for president.
I'm not interested in that.
Okay, we'll move off from politics. We've been pretty deep in politics in the last 10 minutes. Did you get something to eat today?
No.
Okay, maybe that's why you're a little testy right now. You sound a little angry. You sound
Yeah.
See, it's the same thing here. Every time somebody is hungry in the house, that person gets cranky.
Go on.
Well, I didn't want to name names, but Dirk Goddess can get a little upset if she hasn't been fed for a few hours. You know what I mean? You don't want to upset
Yeah.
an angry woman, Arnold.
No.
You still lifting weights all the time?
Yeah.
You look pretty buff right now, but I thought like you were slimming down. Like you're not working out at the gym the way you used to.
Yes.
You still are? Are you going to be a real big bodybuilder again? You're going to go back to the way you looked in the 70s?
Yes.
You're never too old to do it, Arnold. You're an inspiration. I used to run cross country and I used to run marathons, but I haven't done that. Speaking of 20 years ago, in about 20 years.
Good.
It's good that I haven't done that. I don't think that's good. I mean, it was not good for my blood pressure, so I took up bicycling instead.
Exactly.
Do you ride bikes yourself?
Yes!
Listen, you don't have to get so angry about it. It's really important that you eat, Arnold. I can tell that you're underfed. Did you have breakfast today?
No.
Oh, are you on stims?
I hear you.
Are we losing the connection? He's on a satellite phone with me, folks. I'm on a satellite phone right now with
I
Arnold
can be
Schwarzenegger.
bothered with that.
See, like we're a little out of sync because he's hearing me 5 seconds later. Do I sound
I'm
better
sorry.
now? It's okay. You don't have to apologize. You didn't
Thank you.
You didn't invent the satellite phone. You seem like a technology guy, Arnold. Are you really into IT lately?
No, this is not true.
I didn't think so. No, there was like a rumor floating around on the internet. There's lots of rumors about you floating around on the internet, Arnold.
I can be bothered with that.
Don't worry.
I heard that there's going to be another Twins movie. Is that true?
You tell me.
It's just what I've been reading in the entertainment news. It looks like there's going to be another Twins movie. You and Danny
I
DeVito.
insist.
You insisted on it. So
I don't know.
I tricked you. You said you weren't going to do anything with Hollywood anymore. You lied.
I lied.
Yes, you did. At least you're willing to admit it. What you did there is called accountability. And it's
Why?
really- it's because it's necessary. It's a part of growth. It's a part of evolving. Like you have to be accountable for your mistakes. Just
Okay.
admit it. At least you admitted them, Arnold, and that takes guts. Speaking of guts, you really should be getting some food in you soon because you're.
Wait a minute.
Okay, was there something else you wanted to tell me and the audience of the Not So Late Show?
So what's your point?
My point is you have to get food in you. If you didn't even have breakfast this morning, it's after 11 o'clock at night, Eastern Standard Time, folks. Hey, where are you right now, Arnold, if you don't mind me asking? You sound like you're in Mars.
Miami.
Okay, so you're south of us right now.
Yeah.
Be careful down there. It's still hurricane season, you know.
Thank you.
You could probably kick the shit out of a hurricane, though.
Yes.
I know. That's why I said it. Like, you're getting really grumpy and testy.
I'm hungry.
Well, then you should go get some food right now, and we'll just move on to our next guest.
Okay. Hasta la vista, baby.
Thank you, Arnold. Good night. That was Arnold Schwarzenegger, everybody, on a satellite phone. He just ringed it. We've been trying to book him as a guest for several weeks, ever since we decided that we're going to have a digital burn, and we ended up canceling the in-person event. We knew that we had to do something special, so we were trying to get some celebrities in. We got Skittles, and we couldn't get. I never actually spoke to Arnold, but I guess his admin assistant got him through to us. That was fantastic. Corvus, you missed it.
Yeah, sorry, I had to turn things off and on again. Unfortunately, what I miss?
Yeah, you're having some technical problems there. No, Arnold Schwarzenegger is in Miami, Florida.
Really?
And his admin yeah, they patched him through to us. He called in through satellite phone, and we did a little interview thing there.
Well, that's pretty cool. Looks like we have another guest though in line to call in for our show. Who we got?
Oh.
Looks like our promo lead, Rambles. Let's go ahead and
The
let
other
Rambles
promo
in.
lead is in the waiting room here.
Yeah,
Welcome
let's hear
to
from
the Not
Rambles.
So Late Show, Rambles.
Welcome,
on
Rambles, to the Not So Late Show.
He's not on a satellite phone, folks. It's just a real long hallway to get to the stage.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, we're getting there. Hey, how you
He was
guys
having a
doing?
lot of fun in the green room. There he is.
Hey,
No,
Rambles, how you doing
yeah,
tonight?
that green room, man. That green room is something to tell you about, man. I did not. I mean,
That was a good idea.
I Schwarzenegger your way as quick as I could, but
Yeah, I mean, you got to do something when you're in there.
yeah.
It's not just for waiting in. But thank you for joining us tonight, Rambles. Speaking of rock star volunteers, and this is a thing that everybody in this organization is a volunteer. No one's getting paid, and we weren't
No one.
kidding there. Did you see that? Did you see our interview with Skittles? That's amazing.
Yeah, that was solid.
Incredible woman.
And the work that individual has done this year is phenomenal. And charting us through some of the hardest waters I think we would ever see. I didn't expect 2020. I sure as hell didn't expect 2021. And
No.
for us to have to do that chaotic change so quick
Thank God we'd done a little bit of prep work ahead of time. But yeah, it's
Yeah,
been
and
fun.
the biggest thing too that we have to remember, like during the worst parts of the pandemic, during all of the pandemic and stuff, especially the worst parts in the wintertime last year, Skittles was on the front line.
Yep.
Right in the front
Yeah.
line in the hospitals. And
Folks don't know that for those 18 months of hell, all she was doing was COVID cases. Could you imagine?
yeah, so I mean, Skittles is, one of our nation's heroes because
Yeah.
We're
of
lucky
the
to
work
have her.
that Skittles has done and is continuing to do to this day, helping to
Yeah.
fight COVID.
Lucky to have her. And we're lucky to have you, Rambles. You've been going
Mm.
around the clock promoting the hell out of anything anyone needs help with and doing a great job of it, getting in all the places. It's been a very active event, and
Yeah, it
for a
has.
digital burn. And it wasn't that bad last year, but this year it seems to be active by a factor of 3.
I hope that's the case. I'm trying to watch as much as I can.
I don't know how
There's a
you're
lot of
keeping up with
pieces.
it.
There's a lot of pieces in motion. I will tell you that. Yeah, no, the energy and excitement. I mean, you talk about me wanting to promote and work with people and celebrate anything we do. It's because I'm damn excited, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I found my tribe. I found my family. I found the people. You build your intentional community. You find those people that mean too much to you. And that isn't always, sometimes it's your family, but most of the time it's the people you found. And I found a group in 2018. I shut down my life. I said, I am a burner and I am going to just try this. And I've always been known for doing 8 things at once. And I have
Yes,
decided
you are.
it is time, if not now when, to enjoy myself a little bit. And that means work and Mosaic has been the 2 things I've still let in my life. Because
You've always said
family.
that to me, that this is a lot of work, but it's
family.
the fun kind of work. It's fun work.
Yeah, it is. Hell yeah.
So essentially, after your experience in 2018, Mosaic helped you turn your life off and on again.
Yes.
And I know
Very
you
much
took
so.
it hard,
Yeah.
the in-person, the fact that we had to cancel. I know that hit a lot of us really hard, but I know it did particularly for you. It was disappointing. And you've been through some of this digital burn stuff. You did I didn't get a chance to do it, but you have those VR headsets and whatnot. So you did virtual
I got to do
Burning
a little
Man,
bit of
the
Burning
actual.
Man. Yeah.
So
It's
tell
one
us
of
a little
those
bit
things
about that.
Yeah. No, it's one of those things that I think it was beautiful to see this year, in that you're seeing the birth of something new. And I think the same as what we're doing here tonight. If we hadn't been in this virtual world, we wouldn't be constructing things like we're constructing right now. And we're building new ways to interact with each other because we've had to.
Yes.
But it turns out they're kind of cool. And I
Yeah.
feel like with Burning Man Prime and what I got to see with the VR headset and playing around and going through basically all the different lands that they created, it's bumpy. You're going to read that out there. It had its moments where it had little technical things and everything, but still, it's a new way. And if I had, if it had been fully functional, it would have been mind blowing. And it was close enough that it was really, really beautiful. And the ways in which you could just enter a new world, fall into it, and have it more fully realized sometimes than you can do in other ways. Where just another year, maybe 2 years at most.
Yeah, the
it's gonna be
servers are being brought
devastating.
to their knees.
Yeah,
They weren't prepared for the attention that they got.
No, I wasn't
Yeah.
prepared. Thank God for Animal Crossing, or I wouldn't have made it that first 6 months. But and Milk Duds, but you gotta throw that in. No.
Always the Milk Duds. Then we ended up
Yeah.
doing this digital burn here, and the joke that keeps floating around is you should be in promo. These are 2 members of, for those who are just tuning in. These are our 2 promo
This
folk
is a
here.
joke. Yeah.
And when you sign up for that role, the one benefit that it's supposed to have is that when you are on site, there's really nothing for you to do. You're just the town crier. That you've been promoting the event leading up to it. Now everybody is there in person. There's nothing to do. You could just goof around and be a fun, have a good old time, be a burner. On the digital burn, you're needed around the clock 24/7. It's one of the most active roles in the organization.
I think, what was it? Like the end half of Tuesday, Wednesday, and the first quarter of Thursday, Like it was on me, and then I was able to hand it back off to you, and we just tag teamed right back and forth. And now you've got it full scale rolling and everything, helping to back me up with me getting set up out here, getting everything set up for this live stream and stuff. So appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
It's for real.
Well, man, you're doing, all the live streaming thing. I mean, hell, I didn't even catch up for 20. I don't have my green screen. I mean, everybody else got green.
Oh, we don't have green screens. We're actually here in the studio.
No, we are actually on the stage right now. On the stage in the big city of Rutland. You can see behind back there.
Yeah, I'm on the other side of Rutland, actually. Man. We're socially distancing, so you can kind of see if you look right over there.
That's the south side building. It's a little bit more daylight over where Corvus is on the south side of Rutland. Over here is the north side of Rutland. It's much darker there. The sun is setting on Corvus's side. Yeah, I mean, you were in a green room. You should have just used your camera in the green room. There's 4 green walls.
I should have.
4 green screens.
Oh, well, what the heck, man.
Hindsight's 2020. Remember?
I got the tech down, but I don't always use it.
That was going to be that was one of the jokey themes that was thrown out, that we're going to make that our theme this year. Hindsight's 2020. But I think some other burn. I don't know.
We won't go into that.
We don't want to give away too many of the secrets. But the energy this week has been fantastic. And again, a lot of work. I don't remember doing, me and Corvus keep saying this, we're working harder for this digital burn than we would at the in-person burn. And that's a lot of work.
Yeah, I would be meditating in my camp right now.
Right, exactly.
You guys know my history. I've done a lot of events over the years. And the one thing that is amazing and that is so freaking burner magic out of this is if I were running any other kind of event in the world and I was going into the launch of the event with only 3 things on my schedule from people I knew that I was, and to watch it explode into the WWW we've seen now, literally, we showed up without programming and programming appeared. That's amazing. We just trusted it would be there, and it was. And that's burner. That's the way. That is one of the things that makes this culture so freaking amazing. When you show up, people are going to show up with you, and they're going to believe it, and they're going to love you while they're doing it, and we're going to laugh, and we're going to tell stupid jokes, and we're going to do things we shouldn't do, and it's going to be beautiful.
That's been a real constant theme this year that folks have been saying. Is we have never been let down when we were relying on the community. We have a lot of hopes and a lot of faith in this community. And we debate back and forth. We don't know how they're going to act. And we have faith in them, and they always give you the best responses. They just blow you away, like to tears. They've moved us to tears with just their enthusiasm, their understanding, their compassion, their willingness to help, their willingness to contribute. It just, the last few years have made me very negative about a lot of things, and my faith in humanity has just been kind of going in the toilet. It's easy to do. But this community just brings it all back. I just keep forgetting how great these people are. And, like there's a lot of crap in the world, but that's not everybody. There's more. And you
can point that 2 ways. We have an incredible community, but I do not want to short this morgue in any way. The group that runs Mosaic are some of the most talented, amazing individuals. The way that we've come together sometimes, and I've never been prouder to be part of an organization than what we had to weather over the last year. And I do agree, the community steps up, but by God, we bring our game too. And
we really do.
And the group who puts this together, who works their ass off, deserves credit as well, I think. And both sides of the coin, we all do this together. We build the world we want. We put it out there. We live it. We love it. We tear it down. We walk away. It is fucking beautiful.
Yeah, I don't want to take anything away from the team. This is a magical team. And we've always been really lucky with good people to work with ever since the first Mosaic in 2013. But the teams just keep getting better and better. And I feel like a broken record. Every year I keep saying this is the best team we've ever had, but it keeps being true. We keep on bringing in they're better personalities that work better with each other. We're all very surprisingly introverted, which
Mhm.
helps so that we understand each other. We understand how each other's minds work. It's people just aren't rude. They're not disruptive. They're good listeners.
Yeah.
And the team is always eager to work together, and they love problems and they love processes. They always come up with a better process to fix a new problem. It's amazing to watch it happen. It's
Mhm.
magical to watch it happen.
It really is. It really is.
And we're not exaggerating, folks. I mean, it's just, I've been in all these meetings for as long as Mosaic has been around, and I've never seen a team work as hard as this one has. You know, by the way, to be fair, we haven't faced these challenges that this team has
Right.
in the past. But this particular group of people, they're so positive, they're so calm, they're so level-headed, they're so creative. It is a joy to be in their presence. Because if I had a bad day, as soon as I get into this group of people and I just see your faces and I listen to your voices, I'm out of it. I'm
Mhm.
snapping out of it. I'm focused on the mission again. It's amazing what people can do. Like just good-hearted, compassionate, creative people can do. And again, that's our team, that's our community. You know, and that's what attracted me to Burning Man in general. The very first time I've been there.
Yeah.
Just, I couldn't wait to come home and create that experience for more people. I wanted everyone to go out to the desert, and I knew that wouldn't be possible. So, you know, why not create a little piece of that for just a smaller group of people, because it's worth it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've got a
And
long,
that's-
interesting history.
I got a few things in my pocket.
Stuff I never even knew about you. Like I didn't know about the whole comic book thing, and it shouldn't be surprising to people that a burner would be really into comic books and the comic book shops that you've owned in
Yeah,
the past.
I was in the industry for 25 years. Yeah.
Wow.
Ancillarily, sometimes directly, sometimes owned comic conventions, comic book stores, comic book websites. I did a lot in the industry. I never actually, no, I had one published work back in the day, a story I wrote, and I did a web comic series for a little bit, but not much. Yeah.
I didn't know you had a
This
story.
is something that we're definitely going to have to find.
Yeah. So it was if you take three,
Put it on the front page of the website,
and you replace all the people with robots, but they're dated robots, like an outdated Xbox or, you know, called the Y box or something. And you have a custodial ninja,
nice.
And kind of a rom-com apartment thing. Yeah, no, there's been a few fun, stupid things in the day.
Now, it looks like we were supposed to be having Showman at some point here, but
Oh crap! I'm sorry. I get out.
He's-
I get
No,
out.
no, no, don't.
Hold on.
The reason why I'm saying that is because Showman's not here. It is no excuse. That's one of those roles where on site, it's one of the busiest
Taco.
roles. He's Taco. That's the parking people, the shuttle service, you know, like shuttling your stuff from your car to your campsite because it's rainy and the ground gets wet. We don't want to be leaving tire marks all over the place and ruts all over the road. That's why we do this. It's one of the busiest, one of the hardest jobs on site. When it's a digital event, there's nothing for Showman to do. So we invited Showman on this talk show. Where is he? So we did get Arnold.
No Showman.
No, that's right. Showman, from now on, you're no Showman. That's what we're going to call you. Arnold Schwarzenegger, even Arnold Schwarzenegger showed up.
Now,
Skittles showed up.
I gotta say, he deserves a break because this type of stuff he has to put up with on site, considering the fact that in 2019, we had somebody whose car died on the way to the burn and arrived with a tow truck to get them to the burn to drop off the car because they were just staying to deal with it Monday. That's the kind of stuff that Showman gets.
He's a beautiful human being. We just like to give him a little crap. Get a little.
Yeah. It was actually Showman that ferried me to the back 40 in 2019 at my first Mosaic. Took all of my stuff back there.
He carried me. Yeah. 2018 he carried me.
And it was Showman that got me.
Greeted me.
Yeah, Showman is the one that brought me into one of the Meet the Morgue meetings at our last digital experience in 2020, and twisted my arm to sign up for the morgue myself.
So I do want to put this out to the community. If you were part of the Gate in 2018, there was a gentleman with a flowing skirt who was handing out recorders. That was the first burner I ever met at a burn, and I do not know who it is.
Recorders
so
like the flute? Like the flute?
Yeah, the flute thing. Yeah. So he handed me, and I still have it. The very first gift I received at a burn was a recorder. I literally stepped out of the car, and it was something like UD Music and gave me a recorder. It was the most beautiful entry I could have been handed.
2018. That's the other thing here is like, that's not that long ago. And a lot of these leagues
forever.
are very new burners.
Yeah.
That's how addictive this culture is. Like once you step into it and you see how the community works together and you see how communal effort works, it's just addictive. You just want to get involved. Like again, the first time I went to Burning Man, fell in love with it, wanted to create it, loved the community. It's infectious, a good kind of infection. I know it's bad word to use for the pandemic.
I caught it because I arrived in 2018, and as you know, I've been promo lead for 3 years now. I only got one burn out of the 3 promo years, but hey, literally I got there in 2018. You guys had an opening in promo, and I mean I'd done this a good chunk of my life, and so it was like a couple months after the burn that I actually joined the morgue. It was towards the end of the year, but by January, after an October burn, I'm suddenly part of it, and that's magical, and that's what can happen here.
And
so
the
join Mosaic. No.
The people that we meet are amazing with amazing histories. And when you were telling me some of your history there, like knowing you and knowing your talents, it shouldn't surprise me. It's just such a great history. It's up to you if you want to share this, but you blew my mind with your story about having met Kevin Smith. Would you be?
I didn't meet Kevin Smith. I fucking stalked Kevin Smith and got him to comply, and that is the truth of it.
But it worked.
No, I was working. I was working for a series of bars here in Cincinnati called Guerrilla Cinema, and it was a bar that is it's a Tarantino themed bar, and the front end. It looks like a video store, and then you have one video panel that opens, and you can walk back into the back, and then there's a speakeasy bar behind it. But I knew Kevin Smith was going to be doing a show in Lexington and then Louisville and Cincinnati, I think. And I knew he had a night between, and I knew he was going to be in Cincinnati on the second night. So I realized that about 4 months before he was actually doing it, as soon as the tour dates were announced. And I'm like, he's going to be bored. So what I did is I started tweeting at him, just like, hey, we decided we were going to do a Kevin Smith day where we were going to show movies of Kevin Smith all day in celebration. And I telling him about it, and just all this stupid shit. If you look back in the Twitter feeds, you can find it. All these little things, and then like it was his mother's birthday, and I'm like sending tweets at his mother and just having fun. And I started to get his attention a little bit, and just being a lovable asshole. But eventually, we get to the point where I notice he has a private foundation called the Gotham Foundation, and this is in support of fighting human trafficking, legit human trafficking, not that bullshit they wrote the law about, but the fighting human trafficking. And I liked it. I got behind what he was doing, and I talked to the owner of the bar. I said, look, let's give 10%. Let's give 10%. Let's just catch his attention. And so let's give 10% to his foundation, everything we raise during the day. And I said, goes to a good cause. He's already kind of engaged. Let's just do it for fun. And then I got the idea a couple weeks before, and I said, he has tweeted us back a couple times. He's watching. I said, you're going to be bored. I sent out a tweet like, you're going to be bored. You're stuck in between. Like, you don't know anybody. You got a bar of people doing a whole day celebrating you. If you just show up and say the word hello, we're going to give 100% to your charity. Everything we raise, 100% of the day.
Wow.
We had no idea. We knew he liked it and that kind of thing, but nothing. I just thought, this is a blow off. So everybody's hanging around the bar. Everybody's excited. Kevin Smith, they were watching movies, we're enjoying them. Suddenly a person out front who's working the front, because you have to have somebody out front to open that sliding door. He's like, I don't believe it, Kevin Smith. He just drove by. He's like leaning out the window of the car trying to find the place because it looks like a video store. And eventually he pulls up and literally steps out of his car, steps in, and the experience we had with this man. This is really why I like to tell the story, because Kevin Smith is just a wonderful human being.
Oh, I love hearing that.
He just came in and he looked at the video store and he looked around the wall and there's all these videotapes. He's like, oh my God, it's like I'm back in the 90s when my career was actually a success. It's just little things he throw in. So the wall, and as soon as we opened the wall, and he looked at it, he's like, oh my God, close the wall. So we closed the wall, and then he starts doing a Facebook Live. He starts showing everybody. He walks through. He brought a round of drinks for the bar. He bartended.
Wow.
he hugged and just talked and told stories. And then eventually he got back out in the video area and he said, "Oh, by the way, everybody, come on, we're all going to do selfies. Everyone in the bar, we're going to do selfies." So it's just like, the man was there for like a couple of hours just hanging out with us, having a good time. And it's just,
most celebrities,
I adore that man for that.
You wouldn't even
that's
hear
incredible.
back from most celebrities, but this guy hung around for a couple hours. That's like a Bill Murray story.
It really is. He's pretty cool.
That's
Don't get me
amazing.
started down that road, man. I'll go all night with celebrity stories. We've had some fun.
No, I'm really glad that you shared that one with us. I know that we have another, we're supposed to have another celebrity guest
Yay!
at some point. This is one that,
actually, if you tuned in earlier and caught where I was on the time warp, and there's still some after effects of this time warp. Like you might know, I'm a little bit out of sync. I think that time warp's acting up again.
Mosaic actually helped fix that a little bit earlier. It's the last time that we live streamed.
Yeah, but unfortunately,
I saw this.
It's kind of happening again. But the last time I was there, I met somebody that
when you were back in time.
When I was back in time, yeah, I went back a few more times as well, but I met somebody that threw me for a loop, and I gave him the information about the event. He said he'd love to, he'd love to come to our community and check things out. So I don't know if Rambles, would you like to talk to this celebrity as well?
You can
Would love to, unless I'm never going to give him up.
I don't know about that. Let me go ahead and turn things off real quick and see if I can find him, and then we'll turn it back on again. Okay, so just give me a moment here.
No problem there.
Oh,
I was feeling a Rickroll. I just was feeling a Rickroll.
I can't believe
no idea what's coming, folks.
Is this Mr. Rogers? This can't be. I see Mr. Rod. That can't be. Mr. Rogers?
Yes, hi.
How the hell are you doing? I can't believe this is you. Didn't you die in 2003?
Sure.
Oh, okay. Well, you're here through a time warp because obviously that's how Corvus was able to run into you. I just can't. I just, my mind is a little bit blown. I'm sorry. I've never actually talked to a dead celebrity.
Well, certainly.
You would understand that I would get a little bit rattled by this.
Oh, sure.
It's similar, folks, to the satellite phone that we used with Arnold Schwarzenegger. We're actually talking to Mr. Rogers through a time portal.
Oh, that's good.
This is really impressive. And you're looking pretty good for a dead man.
Oh, thank you.
There's so much stuff to catch you up on that's happened in the last 20 years or so. I don't know. Are you a fan? Of course. Are you a fan of sports?
Sure.
I should know better because in the past 20 years, as you're dead and you're obviously here, your ghost probably saw everything that's happening on Earth, right?
No.
Really? So like you're just gone after you die? Like there's no continuing?
Well, thank God, because I've been scared to death of that for a long time.
Same
I
here.
really am glad to have confirmation that nobody's watching.
Like when you die, you're worm food and that's it. There's no continuity.
No, I don't want anybody. I got past generations. Don't need to see what I'm doing.
That just freaks me out. Like I wouldn't know what to do with all that extra time.
Witchy poo.
Oh, is that where you go after you die? Witchapoo?
Certainly.
I've never heard of that place. Is that like another realm of existence?
No.
Please tell me Trolley's with you in the afterlife, though.
Yo-Yo Ma.
This is what we're hearing, the trolley?
Yeah, I hope so. Oh man, it's way too early in the night for sheep jokes.
How about you believe about musical instruments and hose?
I like to think of different things that people do with their hands. You may not always like what I give you, This is an old homemade toy that a neighbor of mine loaned to me. If you bring the batteries, I'll bring the things that go with them.
There are no such things as real monsters, even though some people like to get dressed up in costumes to look like them. When you were a little boy, what kinds of things did you like to do? Did you ever hear of a musical instrument called a steel pan?
Help me, showman, help me. No.
I like to learn new things and learn more and more about old things.
We don't have batteries inside of us that make us move and work.
Do you ever make mistakes?
Can you go to the potty by yourself now?
No.
I'm not in any hurry.
No.
Everyman's Mike.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know who I am?
No.
Fred Rogers.
Whoa.
Well, you all must be really busy.
Confused.
Oh, thank you for telling me. Thank you.
He's bashful.
See you then.
Goodbye, Mr. Rogers.
Thank you, Sir Rogers.
All the cash back you earn on your credit card at the
Hey, folks. We were talking about Showman a little bit earlier, and I know he was running late. But,
yeah, totally.
why?
We were totally talking about you.
Uh-oh.
we really
They
were while we were
trying to
letting
talk
them
to you and you weren't there.
That's entirely reasonable to expect given my whereabouts at the time.
Yeah.
We decided that your new name is No Showman.
Oh,
no.
that's a good one.
we were actually talking about the differences between a burn and no burn for you, and also the challenges that Taco faces sometimes, like the tow trucked in people and stuff like that. Yes, and how you run this magnificent ship of fleets of little vehicles going all over the burn.
They're not like there's one fleet. There's not fleets. We don't divide up into subsections that war against each other. This is.
Oh, I wasn't talking about the cars. Oh no, sorry.
Oh, gotcha.
No.
Was he giving you the recorders?
No, not him.
Okay.
I will know. I've got some suspicions, but I'm hoping somebody just jumps.
Yeah,
in.
if that
It
was
me.
you that gave out those recorders in 2018, we're streaming.
I met the person who brought the recorders. This was actually a burner, I think, who received a recorder, got to gate, saw somebody brand new to the burn, and said, "Here's your recorder." Because the people who brought the recorder actually were camped next to me the whole weekend, but that wasn't the person who welcomed me.
So the first year I did Taco, the treat I gave everyone, the burn gift, was a bell. I gave everyone a Taco bell.
Oh, okay.
I purchased like actual ceramic, like children's bells, and unfortunately they were fucking expensive. This was not a gift I was able to repeat in years. I had like 10 volunteers. So I didn't feel bad about it, but yeah, everyone got a Taco Bell. So Mama Mickey would be like driving around Mosaic going ding and ding and ding to announce the coming of the taco cart, which meant you should get the fuck out of the way and not get run over.
If you're watching the Not So Late Show on Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube, go ahead and write a comment in there if you still have one of those bells.
There's literally 10 people. I can probably name them.
If it rings a bell, let us know.
Oh, God damn, you folks are good. You've been doing.
Or if you're the person with the recorders and you're passing those out, also leave a message in the comments.
Yeah, we're going to triangulate who the hell this was. Yeah.
So in true burner fashion, I sort of just let things happen tonight. I had dinner cooked for me by our former art grant lead, Dom, and then I drank some wine, and then I drank some beer. And then someone told me it was 11 o'clock, and then we drank some beer, and then I got in the car and got taken home.
Did you possibly have the whiskey drink and then the vodka drink?
Possibly.
And then the gin drink.
And then a cider drink. I'm going to go grab a water
brandy
drink in like 2 seconds. I won't disappear forever, but I'll be back in like 2 seconds.
Don't get knocked down unless you're going to get up again.
bottle of wine.
Yay! We got slightly tipsy showman. This is great.
We have slightly tipsy showman on the Not So Late Show.
Oh,
Yeah.
slightly. That's such a.
Showman, I was telling Everyman earlier, and Rambles as well. Like, I remember my first Mosaic 2019, and I don't remember your face, but I remember your voice being the person that was in, the cart in one of the vehicles in the fleet that carted me all the way out to the back 40 to set up the Burbs camp.
Yep. You were the one who carted me as well into my very first burn.
It was something.
You're old.
Yeah, I'm getting old.
No,
but very young burners.
I'm the old guy here. I'm joking.
At one point, Sarge's partner told me, he's like, "You're how I know I'm home. When I show up and you yell at me as I come through this thing and get in a golf cart."
Yeah,
that was humbling.
Yep.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
That's the thing that I like to ask people.
Completely ready to just drag everything by hand, and you rolled up and you asked me, "Hey, do you need a ride?" Yes. Thank you.
Yes, I do.
Right. Yeah.
That's way different than what happens when things aren't going well, Corvus. When things aren't going well, I yelled the first time I met our landowner in person, I told him, shit, everything is shit and things are going horribly.
And you didn't know that it was a landowner.
Yeah, I'd never met him before, but like this guy in just like a normal ass t-shirt and khaki cargo shorts walks up to me and goes, "Hey, how are things?" I'm just like, fuck, shit, everything is shit. Like, we are just barely the fuck hanging on. And then I looked at him, and then my brain like did some processing. I was like, this
compute.
Landowner.
And then exactly what Rambles just did. My brain went, "Oh fuck, I think
your stature seems a little important."
Yeah, like you seem like, how are they? He's like, "Oh, what? Why are things bad?" And I'm like, "They're not really. I'm just, sorry. That was just one of these little jokes that we do."
We're burners.
One of the jokes that we do.
It's like, fuck your burn.
We're just having fun, buddy, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a form of initiation. That's all.
And I don't think it was going particularly bad. I think it had just been one of those long. Again, the Exodus shift does start at 5 a.m. So it's one of those, like, by the time 10 o'clock rolls around, you're looking at a whole bunch of people and you're just like, I am already 5 hours into my day and it is only 10 in the morning. I hate when my day has 2 5 o'clocks. Like, that's not a viable day.
Yeah.
You can get.
I do like the contrast of Taco.
I didn't catch that was Exodus. I didn't
realize.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Taco at Exodus is like, get out. Oh my God, 2 p.m. Gotta be gone. 3 p.m. Gotta be gone. 4 p.m. Digital burn. You can leave if you wanna. We're not gonna make it. You can stay. Yeah. We like you. It's okay. You like it there? You can live there. We're good.
So like Mosaic 2, when Salil and I were running things, I remember, we started at 5 a.m. and we were doing like literally like an in and out traffic because you couldn't pull off the road without getting stuck in the mud again. And I remember at one point Salil like called me. He's like, "Hey, when can we like stop this shit?" And I'm like, "All right, like after 3, we can think about trying to reassess." And Salil like called me back. He's like, "Showman, it's 4:30 in the afternoon right now. You just haven't looked at a clock since 5 in the morning." And I remember I was like, "Oh, okay. So how are things? Let's reassess right now."
I to say, during Exodus, given that Exodus does start at 5 a.m., if you're giving us a lot of problems on your way out, just understand the effort of building that burn. And this is our last day.
Well, and every man, so I will say this, nobody ever does. It's one of those things, like everyone's always super great about it. Actually, Exodus always goes really good. Like, people are sometimes arguably frustrated, but like no one ever gives us a hard time. Like, we have a pretty great community, and we actually do. Like, every Exodus we sit down, we're like, "Did anyone give you a hard time?" And we were like, "Well, some people weren't at their best, but they never took it out on us.
We were just talking about how impressive the community is, how you can really have faith in them. You know, for people that have not yet been to Mosaic, because we do have a lot of burner virgins that bought tickets this year that unfortunately we had to refund, who are watching this and they don't know what it's like to go to Mosaic. They've never been to a burn before, so they don't know what taco is. So we thought we'd invite you here to tell them a little bit about what taco is and does.
Taco
Since
is
you
hell.
don't have to, since you don't have to do anything at a digital burn,
Yeah.
no showman.
Taco is a bizarre place where people who enjoy doing a stupid job well can come to make sure cars get parked properly and people get shuttled properly. You will be given a golf cart, a ridiculous amount of responsibility, and work to do. If you enjoy beating your head against the wall on mindless tasks that arguably don't need to happen, this is a good place for you. I do assure you certain things would degrade to chaos if we didn't exist, but we haven't tried not existing yet. That might be the year I decide to give up on all this crap, is that I just tell everyone to park wherever they feel is appropriate. But it turns out if you don't remind people constantly to park well, they won't. They'll leave a bloody car length between them and the other car because they had to open the door the whole way. Like it does turn out parking is something that needs to be directed. And shuttling in particular is something that does also need to happen. So if you would like to be given the keys to a golf cart and then also worked arguably harder than some other places with a menial task, again, not a task that is particularly rewarding emotionally, but one that is rewarding physically and that you feel like you should drink afterwards, taco is the job for you.
You all seem to be having a lot of fun, though. You say it's dull, but you do a lot of things to make it enjoyable.
That was exactly the point I was about to make, which is as far as departments go within Mosaic, that taco it's just tight. Like he's doing a hard sell on how what it's like to be there, but once you're in taco, it's like the little cult of Mosaic.
It is, yeah.
It is.
Cult.
They are their own little, and they bring people in, and but it's tight in a good way, you know.
Yeah, we are a job, so we are one. There are certain important.
You mean that as a
jobs.
positive thing?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Tight is good here.
Not like a bad evil cult.
This is understood.
That's Scientology.
I do.
We would be okay being a bad evil cult. We've been told by children that the mud god does not exist, and we disagree with this. And so our philosophical, let's not talk about our belief in the mud god and their supremacy over all other gods.
Speaking of the mud god, if you go over to the Discord, you can find the Sanctum of the Flaming Wood, I believe. And we've got some scrolls that are starting to be found. Yeah. Regarding the mud god and his involvement in Mosaic. But yeah.
I'm on a call for like 30 minutes and the whole burn has changed. Man, I can't keep up. There's so much going on. Scrolls are burning now? What?
No, they're not being burned. They're just being found and revealed. Mo has helped us excavate these scrolls for the Sanctum of the Flaming Wood.
I want more Mo. That's the one thing I have to say so far this burn. I've not heard as much from Mo as maybe it's just because so many other people are chattering, but I miss my Mo.
Yeah, it's been a very active Discord this year. And I think a lot of us are used to the ways in which you could trigger Mo. But by the way, when you're in these chat rooms, there are certain words that you will say that Mo is going to respond to with a comment or an emoji react. And some of this stuff is rather esoteric. Some of this stuff, some of them are inside jokes. Some of them are like you had to have been at Mosaic a couple of times to get it. The wood chips joke. We always mention wood chips.
How much do you like wood chips, Showman?
How do you feel about wood chips?
Wood chips are the only way in which we've ever made the burn work in one particular year. So for those of you who've never been to the event, the ground, it does not take a whole lot of rain to make the ground damn near unnavigable. We understand that your 4x4 vehicle can get through it. It will just definitely leave giant chunks in the mud. So this is definitely like a thing that we deal with, is the fact that like once the ground gets even moderately damp, as it turns out that water has nowhere to go because we have a strip mine, and it will stay damp for fucking ever. So putting down wood chips is the way the landowners let us deal with that. The landowner has a buddy who supplies the wood chips. And so my first year dealing with wood chips, I met him a couple times and jumped up in his truck and helped him shovel wood chips. He creates the wood chips by putting on a homemade suit of fucking armor because his bizarro wood chipper kicks back wood. We offered to send him people to help him create more wood chips because he was not producing wood chips fast enough for us one year. We were told that he would probably kill someone because, again, he has a homemade suit of armor to help him block when his homemade wood chipper fires a thing back at him. We are a professional group of event organizers, ladies and gentlemen, but there are some things
Really
that
are.
we just cannot control and we have to roll with. And it turns out our ability to take in wood chips is somewhat limited by the number of people that can wear particular suits of armor around a very old wood chipper.
I love that armor determines our getting from point A to point B in Mosaic.
Things beyond our control are the reasons why
wood
Taco
chips so
exists.
fresh. There were leaves in there. We were definitely just like, Jesus Christ. Dude, like, what? I'm actually not sure. I'm not sure about this. Honestly, everyman, I'm worried about the sustainability of our event. How many trees does Paul have in his back fucking yard? Like,
I got this. You need a bridge. You need a bridge.
The idea of building bridges over particular muddy spots. We have worked out the financials on this for you, the community. It is not viable at this time. Military bridges are, as it turns out, expensive.
This is
We're
my
working
favorite.
on it though. We spent a solid 2 to 3 hours with some folks who weren't as drunk as I was on Google. Trying to actually.
I had an idea here about this bridge.
Yep.
If we've got somebody in the community when we return to Reclaim that would like to bring an art installation of their very own that happens to be a bridge, and you would like some ideas of the dimensions of said bridge, let showmen know about this.
Please do, because we've actually also, like, through doing Taco, we have learned
And they will.
A B-class trailer is, how much it weighs, how large it is, like the sizes of these things. Like to be fair, if you want to get involved in Taco, you don't have to know shit about vehicles. I didn't. But then after that first year, everything went to hell in a handbasket. Salil and I spent some time on Google. And we learned about, so like when you go through the survival guide, you will find information that we're like, hey, here are the sizes of RVs that didn't get stuck. Because we stared at them. And so that there, again, it is a position in which we were able to sort of learn as we were going. We did not like walk into this position and get recruited based on our understanding of different sorts of trailer hitches and how, RVs worked. We figured that out later after we watched it all happen. And this is how burns work. You get to grow into positions in some ways.
Yep.
So,
Now, Showman, for our burner virgins, speaking of things beyond our control, that's why Taco exists, because we have rain. And once upon a time, we didn't have this shuttling service and this parking service. We just noticed that letting people drive in the rain anywhere they want leaves ruts all over the land, in some cases permanently.
So there's some people, especially for the virgins. So you'll hear some of the old timers talk about Mosaic. There was the one burn where everyone discovered about it, because believe it or not, it had never rained the previous couple burns.
Yeah, rumor has it that this is why it's called Rutland, Ohio.
Or all the ruts that the burners bring in. By the way, that's Rutland, Showman, behind us. This is the north side.
That's
and I'm over here on the south side.
Not the north side of Rutland.
The sun is setting over there.
See, We've
Well,
got
it's gotta be
information that you've only
West
been in the
Rutland.
east and the west side of Rutland. The north and south side are much more developed.
much more popular. And in the last 2 years, Rutland has gotten really popular. It's something about the pandemic. A lot of people just
can't-
moved there.
Tell if you're being funny or not. I don't think I.
No,
Oh,
it's
he's
just-
always being
That's
funny. Come on.
definitely not Rutland. Like I've driven through. That's not Rutland. That's definitely some
The
other
north side.
behind you.
Yeah, and this is the south side.
That's the south side. The sun is setting over there. So you're seeing a little bit of light over on that side, but this is the north side. It's much more populated over there.
Gotcha.
Much
Do
more
they
hip.
have wood chips in their part of Rutland? Can we resource?
Now, if you look, there's not any
Doesn't
trees.
even look like they
back
have
here. It's
trees
just
over there.
buildings.
Oh,
Yeah. It's really developed in the last 2 years, Rutland.
Yeah, there were a lot of trees, but Paul
Skyscrapers.
turned them into wood chips, and then development moved in.
so have they built a parking garage on the land that we typically use for the parking
no.
lot yet? Because I would
No,
really
not
like
that,
to
no.
pave that and put some other layers on top of it. Like that
Because
would be
they
great.
want to, it's like New York City with Central Park. They want to have some
Mhm.
nature preserved.
Oh,
And the property owner there is really
Gotcha.
into the plants and
that makes some sense.
yeah. And the
But
trees.
where we were going with that is that yes, there was one year that it had never rained
Nature.
before, and people realized it rained a lot, and then vehicles drove it, and they were like, "Oh shit! None of these vehicles they're leaving giant ruts in the land," and we were supposed to try to leave no trace. We failed that year. We failed spectacularly that year. I was actually there for that afterburn report. I believe our LMT leads like comment was, "Oh Jesus, did we leave a trace?" It was it
The first line.
it was my first experience with the morgue, and it was also just like also the LMT lead definitely mentioned some vomit in the trees that I believe I was personally responsible for.
Vomit in the trees?
Yeah, he
Like up in
definitely was
the
just
tree?
like he was definitely just like vomit is moop, and I found some, and he was here, and I went, that was me on Friday night. I definitely did that.
You
I'm
climb
not
a
sure if I
tree and
want to know
puke
how
it?
they got in the trees, how the vomit got in the trees.
Oh well, because I
vomit.
ran for the trees, like to because I had the sense that I shouldn't fucking vomit on the road. So at least I didn't find a porta-john, but I did find like the tree line, and yeah, it turns out you're not supposed to vomit on that either, because LMT will find it and put it in their afterburn report, and then Esther will come after you, and you don't want that.
You don't want that.
Esther, who is discussing and talking away in our Twitch stream right now with Dirt Goddess, actually.
Oh,
yeah?
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, hi
Yeah.
Esther, hi Dirt Goddess.
I'm glad you
Yeah.
checked
That you
that out.
tuned in on our Twitch stream.
And our brand new YouTube channel.
YouTube
we're
and
about
live on Facebook, and
Mhm.
we're just if we got to do digital, man, we're creative types. We live by spreadsheets. We're gonna get some shit done.
And speaking of which, are there events that are scheduled for after midnight? Did anything actually go into the?
I think
Events-
food's in a bathtub right now, but
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, if we pop over back to the what one
encouraging others to
Dr. Darko started at
bathtub
11.
science adventure.
revolution is
11.
happening tonight. Yes.
Yeah, now brief overview of tomorrow's events. We do have Cooking with Cowboys at 11 a.m. hosted by DD, and that'll be brought to you by the Ranch. They're real excited today to debut their camp at its first burn. They joined us digitally for their first burn, and they're going to jam a bunch of good grub and your good gobs. They'll settle for showing you how the sausage gravy is made.
Virtual Mosaic is going to be their first burn. That's fantastic.
That's right.
Wow.
And you're gonna learn how to make Dee Dee's favorite food of the gods, manna from the heaven, biscuits and gravy. And of course, we've got Chest Up, hosted by Squeezy at noon. And then Slafter, our consent lead's going to be joining us at 1:35 p.m. And we're going to tune into that for Permission, Shadow, and Gratitude, a Burning Man story. After that, we've got Alcohol AMA with Tonic. And that's at 3 p.m. The Zoom link will be provided the day of event.
I'll be there for
He's
that.
coming back to us at 5 p.m. with Fudo R Us. And then back to back at 6 p.m. off suspension. And then finally, we've got the Effigy pregame show from 7:45 to 8:25 with myself and Everyman.
That's going to be
And
us.
we'll get things started for you for that effigy burn when we have that at 8:30 p.m. That live stream will be hosted by your Mosaic Experiment. And again, make sure you fill in that jot form. You can find it right there to submit for conclave or mini effigy. So it's going to be a great day tomorrow. I know I'm going to be.
Those are the things in the what, when, where, and in the Discord. There's a channel called events. And those who don't want the what, when, where to be, because it's public, anybody that can go to the website can see your event in the what, when, where, because it's public. The events channel in the Discord app, that is just for the Mosaic community. So if you don't want to advertise your thing too big, like say you want to have a Zoom party right now, but you don't really want to advertise it in the what, when, where. By the way, you don't have to include your link in the what, when, where. You can put it out there in public and tell people to go to the events channel to look for the Zoom link when you're ready to go live. You could drop it in there right now. It doesn't have to be promo doing it. So there's a lot more stuff going on spontaneously than you're ever going to be seeing in the what, when, where. That's just the stuff that's the people that registered. But if you want to register, you can do that now. Or if you want to do something, you want to create a Zoom right now and let everybody know, go to that events channel. That's what everyone is checking out. I tend to park it on there. At least once an hour, I go and look. This, Taco's got to do something.
I was about to say, and this is as ad hoc as quick as you're going to get, because usually you show up at a burn with a very strict schedule of events that you have to follow. And that's exactly how a real burn is meant to go. But by God, we're just winging it in light of the coronavirus.
Yeah.
It's impressive how that works, but it does have, well, obviously not now because all of promo is on this stream. But if you did submit one of those jot forms, it emails to the promo team. And usually if there wasn't a talk show happening, there were within 5 to 6 minutes, these folks they get it out there on Facebook. They get it out there in the what, when, where. They're editing a website. They're putting it in the Discord channel. It goes everywhere. Instagram.
Yeah. Well, one thing on the effigy tomorrow night, just certainly, if you're not a fire spinner, if you're a poi spinner, if you are doing a kids glow, there's a lot of different versions of this. Don't assume it has to have fire. If you're creating a light, you're creating something, let us know. Go to that jot form, get it in there. We want to see the kids. We want to see anybody. We want to work everybody in. If you've got something you're just throwing in your fire pit, it's going to be cool and it may explode at some point, give us a go. No, don't let it explode. That's a bad thing. But anyway, let us know.
That conclave and the effigy is going to be just like this. It's going to be zooming to all the same places. It'll be zooming, going from Zoom and restreaming to Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. So just get creative. If you've got anything that you want to set on fire in your backyard, just be a little creative. It's okay to be spontaneous right now. This is a digital burn and we're allowing for this. So if you're a fire spinner, you're a conclave spinner, let us know. Just fill out that jot form, mosaicexperiment.com/www. It's right at the top of the page. That is our plea to you because lots of people have been filling out that form. Very few have been submitting effigies or joining the conclave team. So that is our last plea to you, because I know it's about midnight, but we are definitely looking for volunteers for conclave and effigy.
And if you're
a little bigger,
if you're in the Discord, again, ! Jot form, that'll bring that form up. Mo will just hand it right to you.
Those old like public broadcast things where they would do like the fundraising rally. That you all have this, you are doing this very well, I must say. So
we've been doing this every couple hours since Thursday.
So we've been called out on Twitch, and I have to address this, and it is appropriate. We have been called out that we have gone, and they've been trying in Twitch to get our attention for 7 minutes to let us know that we have never said what the hell taco stands for. And they would like for the virgin burners out there.
Okay, that's
taco stands for.
So
I can never remember
authority and
all
car.
right. So if you go to a typical burn, sometimes there'll be a parking department. My predecessor, Boodles, the great Boodles, founder of our organization, decided that we were transportation authority and car oversight. Taco is transportation authority and car oversight.
It just happens to spell taco.
Transportation authority and car oversight. It's also how I got put in charge of a whole bunch of shit that shouldn't necessarily be parking. This is how we inherited golf carts. Is we changed the name of the fucking department to the transportation authority. And then someone was like, oh, I guess that means you run golf carts. I guess that means you direct people to put wood chips in places because that's related to transportation. Yeah, I inherited a whole bunch of different jobs with that particular hilarious name change. But yes, so taco for that person 7 minutes ago, who I'm sure is going to sleep, is transportation authority.
Especially if they're listening to us.
They would have just had to sat through the recent round of like, please submit your donations to blah, blah, blah. And you can get the Mosaic tote bag. It has this and socks.
Corvus, you have some paparazzi over there. About a half hour ago or so, like I saw your face looking away from the microphone, and then flashes started happening. Like the paparazzi was taking pictures of you.
Well, I mean, in Rutland, we are celebrities.
I know that, but like normally we keep those people outside, you know, or like we keep them in the audience. Which, by the way, the audience has been very quiet tonight, I've noticed, for this Not So Late show. Sort of like a not so
really
show.
Have. Actually, it seems like we have some paparazzi.
Pandemic.
There's some paparazzi outside the studio right now.
That's right.
It might be the landowner in the studio over
That's right.
here.
Pandemic. The paparazzi has come out.
It appears that the paparazzi is here.
They're coming back to take some more pictures.
Look at it. No.
Whatever it is, the answer is no. You could do whatever you want, but the answer is off camera.
Sorry, I call attention to all this stuff I shouldn't.
Oh, I picked up on that too. It was really subtle. It was really subtle. I was talking to Corvus, and then his head starts shifting. He starts looking the other way. And then his face turns all white for a second. I'm like, what the? Like, is there some tech? Are you like going through time again? You're going through another time portal? Because that's happened several times today. I thought
I'm tired of going through time porters.
I'm sure you are. Time porters. Now that I'd like to have.
Time porters, time portos. Time portos is what I've been going through. And it's been a really shitty experience.
I only like time portos if I'm Doctor Who.
Hey everyone, what was the theme the year that we did in fact have the time portal and the time portal bureaucracy? I think so. I just got part of the reason I almost didn't make it here was I was getting drunk with our previous art grant lead, Dom Barbado. But when he did
it's
like
Dom's
a
fault.
Portal. Yeah, exactly. It's entirely Dom's fault. But
thanks, Dom.
He did a time portal. And like his entire project was that he had a bureaucratic desk where you walk through the time portal and he had to fill out forms for the time portal.
Oh,
what year? What was the theme that year? Was
that was early? That was early. That had to have been 2015.
Yeah, it was later than that. It might have been 17.
16.
Actually.
17 was that magic year where we had the ATM machine as the effigy. That was the corporate year, or like a corporation.
Then it would have been 16. It would have been 16.
Okay.
Then it was the year before that, Matt. That year.
Yeah, then that's 2016. I can't remember what the theme was, but I think.
Well, regardless, he made a time portal and he created like a bureaucracy where you had to sign up for the time portal, and so a lot of people queued up for it, and like at least one person queued up and didn't realize they were involved in a giant joke. And
it was one of the most hilarious things I've ever seen, because Dom's affect is very, very serious in those situations. So like you're taking him at his word, and Boodle's also, and they're acting like the DMV basically, and they have all this paperwork all over the place.
Two desks next to each other. They would periodically call each other, and every now and again one of them would let the phone ring and not pick it up, but it was literally like the phone next to them. It was fantastic, but at least one person like stood in this line, got to the front. It was like, well, I didn't just want to stand in line for this. It was like legitimately upset that they've been part of what is really a giant prank.
So the 2016 Mosaic experiment was future past.
That was it. That was why there was a time portal. That makes sense.
I should know these things.
Significant amount of that time portal were made in I would say it was my backyard, but it was like the yard that was allowed to me by the apartment I was renting at the time, which was like the back of a house that was split in two. I actually managed to get magic rent in Ann Arbor. No one quite knew what to do with this apartment. And so it was, yeah, I lived there. We actually built a burn project for Lakes of Fire back there every weekend, like repeatedly. I kept waiting for someone to tell me, like, hey, that shared yard space is not meant to be a construction zone for whatever the fuck you're building. It was 8 feet tall. It was a large structure. It might have been 12 feet tall by the time we were done with it, but we set it up every weekend to test it. And I kept waiting for someone from the apartment to tell me that you can't do that in this area that is arguably not your yard. They did not. We continued on. And some of that was because I managed to hide what we were doing from them. And when they came to repair things, I actually left some of our tools out and said, you can use these instead of whatever they've given you. And they were very happy for that. And they did, in fact, use our saw. We had a nice, I don't know what it's called, but it was like a rotating saw that you can pull down. What is that called?
Oh, you should know the answer to this, Corvus. You've worked with every tool under the book in the last month.
It'd be a rotary arm saw or a miter saw.
We had a miter saw, and like I left it out for them, and I left it plugged into my apartment, and I hid all the things I didn't want them to find in our apartment. I was like, you can use our miter saw if you want. And they definitely used the miter saw instead of whatever the fuck they were supposed to show up and do.
Now, I just want to back things up again. You're doing good there. Lakes of Fire was mentioned for everyone that has one, go ahead.
Oh fuck yeah! So occasionally,
I don't have it.
So folks, occasionally,
it's probably for the best.
We have a drinking game at our Leeds things where sometimes if we say certain words, we drink. Wood chips is one of them. I encourage everyone on this call when they can to drink and drink responsibly when they hear the word wood chips.
And everyone listening to the call or watching the call. Yes, and Lakes of Fire is another one because it's often said, drink. Well, Lakes of Fire also does this. So we should do this because we're kind of like the younger younger sister burn of Lakes of Fire. It seems because we have a lot of leads that used to work with Lakes of Fire, and a lot of our
third cousin, sister, twice. We're the sister-in-law, cousin.
They're twice removed. But some of our leads ended up on Bodoc for the board of directors for Lakes of Fire.
Yeah, apparently we're a springboard. I don't know.
Springboard of directors, if you.
So what I will tell people is if they're looking to make a career out of burning, don't join Taco. We will just swallow your soul. You join Taco for a couple.
But you'll like it.
You work your ass off. Yeah. You'll enjoy it. You'll drink a decent amount of wild turkey. We still hide wild turkey in the clipboard. And you'll, and then eventually you'll quit and you'll be happy you did it. It's a good time.
So it's unbelievable with a description like that you were able to bring me on for the promo department.
True.
But that being said, looks like we are running a little late on time. So I thank you, Rambles.
40 minutes
I thank
late.
you, Showman, for coming in tonight. Being a part of this interview live stream. Special thanks to Skittles for coming in tonight. Special thanks to Arnold Schwarzenegger for showing up, and of course to Fred Rogers. Yes.
And speaking of the what, when, where, I'll probably be putting an entry in the what, when, where shortly after this not so late show to reopen the speakeasy again.
Yeah.
Easy
so
tonight.
Check it out. Join us there.
And I will put a shout out for if you've not been part of the Saturday stream after Effigy, give it a thought.
Do it.
It is the most insane gathering of intellectual superiority and beauty that you will ever see.
I don't know if you're selling this.
That's all we've got time for tonight. Make sure you join us on our live stream next time over Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. And check out that next event, the Avery